In the shadowed halls of Winterfell, where the cold winds whispered secrets through the ancient stone walls, Eddard Stark, known to all as Ned, stood before the heart tree in the godswood. The weirwood's red leaves rustled like blood-stained banners, and its carved face seemed to weep sap as if mourning the choices of men. 7 kingdoms were ablaze with rebellion. Robert Baratheon, Ned's foster brother and closest friend, had raised his banners against the mad King Aerys Targaryen after the abduction of Lyanna Stark, Ned's sister, by Prince Rhaegar. The realm bled, and alliances were forged in fire and steel. Ned had ridden south with his bannermen, leaving the North's icy grip to join Robert's cause. Battles raged, at Summerhall, where Loyalist lords fell like autumn leaves, at the Trident, where Rhaegar's ruby-encrusted armor shattered under Robert's warhammer. But victory came at a cost. Lyanna was found in the Tower of Joy, dying in Ned's arms, her final words a promise that would haunt him forever. She begged him to protect her son, Jon, born of her secret union with Rhaegar. A truth Ned buried deep, claiming the boy as his own bastard to shield him from Robert's wrath. As the rebellion ended, King's Landing lay in ruins, sacked by Tywin Lannister's forces. The Mad King was slain by Jaime Lannister, Tywin's own son, and the Targaryen children were butchered in an act of brutality that stained the Iron Throne with innocent blood. Robert claimed the crown, but the realm needed healing. Alliances had to be mended, and marriages were the mortar. Tywin Lannister, ever the cunning lion, saw opportunity in the chaos. His daughter Cersei, a golden beauty with emerald eyes and a tongue sharp as a Valyrian steel, had been promised to Rhaegar once, but that dream died with the prince. Now Tywin sought to bind House Lannister to the new regime. Robert, flushed with victory and grief over Lyanna, showed little interest in marriage. He drowned his sorrows in wine and women, declaring he would wed for love or not at all. Whispers in the Red Keep spoke of his eye turning toward a Florent girl or perhaps a foreign match, but Tywin pressed for stability. It was Jon Arryn, the wise hand of the king and Ned's foster father, who brokered the unexpected union. The North must be tied closer to the crown, Arryn counseled Robert. Ned is your brother in all but blood, but his honor makes him distant. Wed him to Cersei Lannister. Tywin's gold will rebuild the realm, and Ned's steadfastness will temper the lion's pride. Robert laughed, his booming voice echoing through the throne room.
Ned and that haughty bitch. She'd sooner bet a dire wolf than share his frozen bed. But if it keeps old Tywin loyal, so be it.
Ned received the Raven in River Run, where he had lingered after the war, aiding Hoster Tully in quelling remnants of Targaryen loyalists. The message was blunt. By royal decree, you are to wed Cersei Lannister. Return to King's Landing at once. Ned's hand tightened on the parchment, his gray eyes stormy. Marriage was duty, he knew. But Cersei? He had met her once, during a tourney at Harrenhal years ago. She was radiant, ambitious, everything the North was not. Yet duty called, and Ned Stark answered. Cersei and her solar at Casterly Rock received the news with fury.
Ned Stark,
She spat, crumpling the letter from her father.
a dour northerner who prays to trees. I was meant for a king, father, not some honorable fool who'd rather freeze in the snow than rule.
Tywin's face was impassive, his green eyes flecked with gold.
You will be queen in all but name. Stark is Robert's right hand. Bear his heirs, and our blood will flow through the North. Jaime will remain in the Kingsguard. You must secure our legacy elsewhere.
Cersei's twin brother, Jaime, lounged against the wall, his golden armor gleaming.
Better Stark than some fat lordling, sister. At least he's not ugly.
But his eyes held a deeper fire, one that spoke of forbidden passions. Cersei met his gaze, a silent promise passing between them. No marriage would sever their bond. The wedding was held in King's Landing, under the watchful eyes of the Seven in the great sept of Baelor. Banners of Stows, wolf and lion, fluttered in the warm southern breeze, a fragile tapestry of unity. Ned stood tall in his gray, direwolf emblazoned cloak, his face solemn as a crypt. Cersei approached in a gown of crimson and gold, her hair a cascade of sunlight, but her smile was a mask hiding venom. As the Septon bound their hands with ribbon, Ned whispered,
I will honor you, my lady, as best I can.
Cersei's response was cool.
And I you, my lord. Let us hope the gods are kind.
The feast that followed was lavish, funded by Lannister gold. Robert toasted uproariously, sloshing wine as he jested about northern winters and lionesses in the snow. Tywin watched like a predator, calculating. Jaime, seated far from the high table due to his white cloak, drank deeply, his eyes never leaving Cersei. That night in the royal apartments lent for the occasion, Ned and Cersei consummated their union. It was awkward, dutiful, Ned gentle but reserved, Cersei distant, her mind elsewhere. She thought of Jaime, of the throne she craved, while Ned pondered the North's call and the boy Jon waiting in Winterfell under the care of his household. They journeyed north soon after, a long procession of wagons laden with southern finery clad the rugged landscape. Cersei rode in a gilded wheelhouse, complaining of the dust and heat at first, then the encroaching cold as they crossed the neck.
This land is barbaric.
She muttered to her ladies-in-waiting, women from Lannisport who shivered in their silks.
No wonder the Starks are so grim.
Ned rode ahead on his destrier, scouting with his guards. He spoke little, but when they camped, he tried to bridge the gap.
Winterfell is ancient, my lady, built by Bran the Builder. The hot springs warm the walls. You'll find comfort there.
Cersei forced a smile.
Comfort? In a castle of stone and ice? I was raised in the rock, with views of the sea and endless gold.
Upon arriving at Winterfell, the castle loomed like a grey sentinel against the snowy horizon. The gates opened to cheers from the small folk, who had heard tales of their new lady. Cersei stepped out, her breath fogging in the air, and surveyed the courtyard. Direwolf banners snapped in the wind, and children peered from behind their mothers' skirts. Inside, the great hall was warmed by roaring fires, but Cersei found it sparse compared to the opulence of Casterly Rock.
No tapestries of gold thread? No minstrels singing of lions?
She quipped to Ned that evening.
We value strength over splendor.
Ned replied quietly.
But you are welcome here. This is your home now.
Jon Snow, a babe of scarcely a year, was presented to her by the wet nurse. Cersei's eyes narrowed.
Your bastard,
She said flatly when they were alone.
a constant reminder of your indiscretions.
Ned's jaw tightened.
He is my blood. He stays.
Cersei said nothing more, but resentment festered. She wrote to Jaime in secret, letters carried by trusted ravens. The North is a prison of snow. Stark is honorable to a fault. Dull as rusted iron. Come north when you can. I need your fire. Months turned to years. Cersei adapted, or pretended to. She bore Ned a son, naming him Robb after the king. The boy had the Stark look. Dark hair, grey eyes. But Cersei saw a hint of Lannister cunning in his smile. In truth, the conception was muddled. Cersei had lain with Jaime during a brief visit south for a tourney, but she convinced herself the timing favored Ned. Ned doted on Robb, teaching him to ride as soon as he could walk.
He will be Lord of Winterfell one day,
Ned said proudly. Cersei bore a daughter next, whom they named Sansa. The girl was a beauty, with auburn hair like the Tullys Ned had once been betrothed to, but green eyes that echoed Cersei's. Sansa was gentle, dreaming of songs and nights, a stark contrast to the North's harshness. Their marriage was one of quiet endurance. Ned ruled justly, dispensing justice in the Great Hall, riding out to settle disputes among his bannermen. Cersei managed the household with an iron fist wrapped in velvet, importing silks and spices from the south to make Winterfell more bearable. She clashed with the Maester Luwin over southern customs, and eyed the wildlings' threats with disdain. But shadows lingered. Jaime visited twice in those early years, under pretext of Kingsguard duties escorting royal envoys. In hidden chambers, he and Cersei rekindled their passion, risking everything.
Ned suspects nothing.
Cersei whispered in the dark. He's too busy being honorable. Jaime laughed bitterly.
One day, his honor will be his end.
In King's Landing, Robert's reign prospered uneasily. He married a Reach lady, Marguerite Tyrell's aunt, for her house's wealth and armies, but the union was loveless. Robert sired bastards aplenty, his court a den of excess. Jon Arryn managed the realm, but whispers of Targaryen loyalists persisted. Ned received summons to court occasionally, but he preferred the north.
The capital is a pit of vipers,
He told Cersei.
We are safer here.
Cersei longed for that pit.
Safer, perhaps, but stagnant. Our children deserve more than endless winters.
Cersei had borne another child, a boy named Bran. He was adventurous, climbing the walls of Winterfell like a squirrel, his laughter echoing through the halls. Ned saw promise in him, training him with wooden swords alongside Robb. Cersei's frustration grew. She had expected power through marriage, but Ned shunned ambition. When Robert offered him the position of hand after Jon Arryn fell ill briefly, Ned declined.
My place is in the north.
He wrote back.
You fool!
Cersei hissed in their solar.
The hand wields more power than any lord. Think of our children. Robb could be warden, Sansa a queen's lady.
Ned's eyes were stern.
Power corrupts, Cersei. I've seen it in King's Landing. Robert is my friend, but the throne changes men.
She turned away, hiding her scorn. In letters to Tywin, she complained, Stark is content with his frozen fief. Push Robert to demand more from us. Tywin responded shrewdly, sending gifts and envoys. Lannister gold flowed north, funding improvements to Winterfell's defenses. But Tywin had his own schemes. With Cersei in the north, he maneuvered Jaime closer to the throne and whispered in Robert's ear about potential threats. One winter night, as snow blanketed the godswood, Cersei confronted Ned.
Do you love me, husband? Or is this marriage merely duty?
Ned paused, his hand on the hilt of ice, the ancestral Valyrian steel sword.
I respect you, Cersei. You've given me fine children. In time, perhaps love.
Time,
She scoffed.
the north devours time like wolves devour sheep.
Their fourth child came, a girl named Arya. Wild and willful, she favored Ned's sister Lyanna in spirit, rejecting dresses for breeches and swords. Cersei despaired.
She's more wolf than lady. What lord will wed her?
Ned chuckled, a rare sound.
She'll find her way. The north breeds strength.
Jon Snow grew alongside them, a quiet boy with dark curls and somber eyes. He and Robb were inseparable, but Cersei's cold stares made him wary.
Why does Lady Stark hate me?
He asked Ned once. Ned knelt, placing a hand on his shoulder.
She doesn't hate you, lad. Life is complicated.
But Cersei did resent him, a living symbol of Ned's supposed infidelity. In truth, Jon's presence protected the secret of his Targaryen blood, but it gnawed at her pride. As the years passed, rumors from the south reached Winterfell. Robert's marriage soured. His queen bore him a son, but the boy was weak, plagued by illnesses. Targaryen exiles, Viserys and Daenerys, plotted across the narrow sea. Balon Greyjoy stirred in the Iron Islands, whispering of rebellion. Ned strengthened his alliances, hosting feasts for the Karstarks, Umbers, and Manderleys. Cersei charmed them with southern grace, but privately mocked their rough manners.
Barbarians.
She wrote to Jaime, I miss the court's intrigues. Jaime's replies were fervent. Soon, sister. Father plans great things. A raven brought dire news. Jon Arryn had died, poisoned, some said. Robert summoned Ned to King's Landing.
I need you as hand, old friend. The realm fractures.
Ned hesitated, but duty won.
I'll go.
He told Cersei.
But you and the children stay here. The capital is no place for them.
Cersei's heart leaped.
Take me with you. I can aid you. Navigate the snakes.
Ned shook his head.
Winterfell needs its lady.
She seethed but complied, seeing opportunity. With Ned south, she could act freely. Jaime was in the capital, perhaps a visit. Ned departed with a small retinue, including Jory Cassell and a few guards. Jon Snow, now 13, begged to go, but Ned refused.
Stay and protect the family.
In King's Landing, Ned found a court rotten with corruption. Robert was bloated, drunk, surrounded by sycophants.
Ned!
He bellowed, embracing him.
You've come to save me from these leeches.
As Hand Ned uncovered financial woes, the crown drowning in debt to the Iron Bank and House Lannister. Tywin visited, his presence commanding.
My daughter fares well in the north?
He asked Ned.
She does.
Ned replied curtly. He disliked Tywin's calculating gaze. Privately, Tywin met with Jaime.
Stark is honorable, but blind. Push him to investigate Arryn's death. It leads to interesting places.
Ned delved into Arryn's notes, discovering whispers of incest in the royal family. No, wait, in this timeline, Robert's children were his own, but perhaps other secrets. Arryn had been probing the king's bastards, fearing a plot. Meanwhile, in Winterfell, Cersei ruled. She invited Lannisterkin north, including her cousin Lancel, a squire with golden locks. But her thoughts were on Jaime. She arranged a pilgrimage south, claiming to visit Seps, but truly to rendezvous. En route, in a hidden inn near the Trident, she met Jaime. Their reunion was passionate, reckless.
Ned pokes at shadows in court.
Jaime whispered.
Father says to let him dig. His honor will trap him.
Cersei smiled wickedly.
And when he falls, the north is ours.
Back in King's Landing, Ned confronted Robert about the debts.
We must curb spending.
Robert waved him off.
Hunt with me instead, like old times.
During a hunt, disaster struck. A boar gored Robert, his wounds festering. On his deathbed, he named Ned Protector of the Realm until his son came of age. But plots swirled. Tywin's agents whispered of Ned's bastard Jon, hinting at treason. Cersei's letters arrived, urging caution. Ned wrote home, "The king dies. Danger looms. Prepare the north." Robert's funeral was a spectacle, the realm mourning its warrior king. His son, a boy of 10 named Steffon, ascended as Steffon I, with Ned as regent. But the queen, a Tyrell, schemed with her kin for power. Tywin offered support, for a price.
Wed your daughter Sansa to my grandson.
Tywin proposed to Ned, but Ned had no grandson. Wait, Tywin meant perhaps a Lannister match for the new king. Ned refused alliances that smelled of manipulation.
The realm needs justice, not more webs.
Jaime, as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, watched Ned closely.
You're making enemies, Stark.
Honor demands it.
Ned replied. Letters from Cersei grew urgent. Return north. The children miss you. Whispers say the queen plots against you. Ned investigated deeper, uncovering that Aaron's death was no illness, poison traced to a Tyrell agent. But before he could act, accusations flew. Ned was hoarding power, his bastard a threat. In a small council meeting, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, smiled slyly.
Lord Stark, rumors abound of your loyalty. Some say you hide Targaryen blood in Winterfell.
Ned's blood ran cold. How did they know about Jon? He confronted Tywin.
What games do you play?
Tywin steepled his fingers.
Games? I protect my family. Cersei writes of your distractions.
Betrayal dawned. Cersei? No, she wouldn't. But doubts seeded. Ned sent a raven to Winterfell. Guard Jon closely. Trust no one. In the north, Cersei received it, her face paling. Jaime had warned her. Father's plan was unfolding. Expose the bastard's heritage. Discredit Ned. Claim the north through her children. She burned the letter, summoning her guards.
Watch the boy Jon. He may be dangerous.
As snow fell heavier, the realm teetered. Stannis Baratheon, Robert's brother, sailed from Dragonstone, claiming the throne. Rumors of the king's children being illegitimate? No. In this world, perhaps Stannis questioned Steffon's paternity due to Robert's affairs. Ned arrested Littlefinger for treason, but chaos erupted. Gold cloaks loyal to Lannisters clashed with Stark men. In the throne room, Jaime faced Ned and a sword drawn.
It's over, Stark. Surrender.
Ned drew ice.
Never.
The clash of steel rang out, but before a fatal blow, a messenger burst in. Rebellion in the Iron Islands! Greyjoys attack! The realm fractured further. Ned escaped with a few loyalists, riding north wounded. In Winterfell, Cersei paced. Ned's return would expose everything. She wrote to Tywin, "Act now. The wolf is weakened." As Ned crossed the neck, his thoughts turned to home, to Cersei, the children, the lie of Jon. What if his marriage meant to unite had sown division?